As I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
President Trump touting a winning America at his State of the Union address last night. That speech lasted a record 1 hour and 47 minutes. It's the longest State of the Union address we've had in history. The president talked foreign policy, promoting peace, but emphasizing a heavy hand when needed, specifically mentioning he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. He says can't happen. He also highlighted his immigration efforts, to which some Democrats protested by not standing in support when called to do so, some even shouting back in their disapproval. But the bulk of the president's speech was really focused on a strong economy, touting the progress he's made over the last year while blaming Democrats for not propping up his policies. Let's go out to NewsNation national correspondent Alicia Nieves, who's live for us at the New York Stock Exchange this morning. Alicia, the president is hyping up a strong economy, but what do the numbers actually say?
Hey, good morning, Markie. Yeah, if you look strictly at the numbers here, not as good as the president touted, but also not as bad as some fear, right? And when you look at sentiment for investors here on Wall Street, they'll tell you it's been a pretty good year for them. Major averages ranging anywhere from 13% to 18% higher in this first year of the Trump presidency. It's on Main Street where it gets a little trickier.
After just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
A year into his presidency, Trump hammering home his message that the economy is doing well. But an AP Norc poll shows the majority of Americans polled disapprove of how the president is handling the economy. Pew Research found there are 3 key economic concerns for Americans: healthcare, food, and housing.
But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Compared to a year ago, inflation is slightly down. But the data shows over the last 5 years, the inflation rate has been at or lower than last month's 2.4% at least half a dozen times.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states.
According to AAA, there is no state with gas averaging that low, but prices have fallen during the president's term. The national average price per gallon was $3.12 on Inauguration Day and $2.95 on Tuesday.
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office.
This week, mortgage rates did dip to the lowest average since 2022, but it was driven in large part by lower Treasury yields, which have dropped over investor worries of a trade war. And while mortgage rates are down, so is GDP, a key measure of the health of the economy. Unemployment is also slightly higher than this point last year. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index was up 2.4%, which means many saw an increase to things like grocery prices and utility costs during the first year of President Trump's second term.
And there's no doubt the economy really is going to be a key factor leading up to the midterm elections. And some of those races heat up in the next 2 weeks, just in time for some more economic data. We'll get another read on GDP and certainly another read on CPI, that key inflation gauge on, what you and I and everyday Americans are paying for goods, Markie.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.